What's up guys, MA Fish Guy here doing a viewer request on the silver-tip shark. And these guys are technically a catfish, not really a shark, but they're really interesting to look at. Real beautiful markings on them, real nice coloration, and they go well with cichlids. They do get quite large, usually around 13 to 15 inches on these guys. They'll pretty much eat anything on the bottom of the tank that comes within their reach, including smaller fish. So baby fish, any baby cichlids, eggs, anything like that that you may have in the tank with them, they're going to devour it. They'll eat frozen foods, bloodworms, brine shrimp, flakes, pellets, even veggies they'll kind of snack on, everything like that. So like I said, 13 to 15 inches, so you do want quite a large tank on these guys. Also, you want a well-covered tank. Just like some of your other catfish species, these guys can jump. And these guys do require actual sea salt in the aquarium, and they're more of like a brackish water, so they're good with your scats, your monos, your puffers, anything like that that's more of a brackish water. You could even set up a brackish with mollies, and they'll go along fine with the mollies. Now for water chemistry, these guys aren't real picky. They do require a water temperature about 74 to 82 degrees, and it's 1 teaspoon of sea salt per gallon of water. Now most of the time when you guys get these from a pet store, they're around $5.99 to $6.99 per catfish. And they're mostly in full fresh water. Now this is okay to begin with, but as they get bigger, you do want to switch them to slightly brackish, and some people even switch them to fully salt. As long as this is done gradually, it's usually not a problem at all. Slowly adding a higher salinity to the aquarium water during water changes is probably one of the easiest ways to acclimate these guys to an aquarium. So you do want to keep that in mind. You don't want to do it too quick, because then you'll stress them out and you can end up killing them that way. The pH, I've kept these guys in anywhere from 6.2 to 8.0, so pretty much a huge spectrum of that. And the temperature, like I said, is pretty reasonable to keep a catfish at. Now these guys are quite interesting in a group. They do a little bit better in a group, but because of their size, it's real hard to provide an aquarium that actually can adequately supply a whole tank full of silver-tip sharks. So you do want to keep that in mind. There are no known breeding techniques or activities of these guys, so if you did it, you're probably one of the first or one of the few in this hobby that have done it. So you do want to keep that in mind. It's probably not one of the fish you're going to be able to breed inside the aquarium either. So like I said, tank mates, anything bigger than its mouth, really. These guys really don't go after anything, but you have to remember, if you have small fish in there, they do sink down to the bottom near the gravel or the sand at night. And that's when the catfish are most active, and they'll slowly pick them off like a vacuum cleaner. So you do want to keep that in mind. These guys are from near Colombia and Peru, so if in case you want to know that, for any kind of knowledge that you need on these guys. But overall, these guys are really beautiful. A lot of people have problems with them getting them home, putting them in the aquarium. They don't have the right adequate water conditions, so they end up dying on them. A lot of people kind of lose interest just because of that. These guys are quite stress prone, so they get stressed real easily, and they take the stress real heavy onto them. So you want to make sure you're providing the right adequate acclimation to your tank from the fish store water to provide the best basically situation for the catfish. And once you get them into the tank, it's usually pretty gold after that, as long as they're eating. You shouldn't have a huge problem after that. I've never really gotten in huge with these guys. I have owned quite a few of them just because they are pretty, but as they get older, they just get huge. They're not as pretty as they were when they're juveniles, or you have to turn them to full brackish, so I either give them away to people, that way if they have a brackish tank, even better. I've never went one huge for a brackish tank, just because there's a real limited supply of what you can actually do on them. So if you have any questions or comments, concerns on the silver-tip shark or the silver catfish or the Colombian catfish as it goes by, please post it down below in the comments, and I will answer them as quick as possible. So thank you for watching.